Parenting can be overwhelming, not only for parents but also for children. Like that feeling of a parent-child relationship. But now today I'm going to share this podcast here, which gives insights not only from just one point of view, not only just of one point of view of one person, but three people, 40 plus, 50 plus age, they are discussing. And there are very important points in this podcast I could hear, which I would like to highlight in this video, so that you can get the highlights of this podcast and then you hear this 58-minute podcast full on your device. So for now I'm not going to explain all things, but I'm just dropping you the hints how much important this podcast is for any B.Ed student who is going to become a teacher, also for any parent, also for children. Also, this is very harmless podcast to hear. This is not very like adults jargon. This doesn't contain any adults jargons or any mature jargons. Children can also enjoy it, but yeah, mostly it is for teachers and parents. So let me talk about first. Just note down, this is the podcast of Miss Tanaz, Sister B.K. Shivani, and Mr. Rajan Nawani, on topic of on power of the mind, mastering your mindset. And it talks about many things, like you may hear many jargons, like many specific terms and vocabulary, like NLP, that is neural linguistic programming, then spirituality, and then parenting. Then there are different point of view around not only thoughts, also emotions, and then they talk about EQ, EH, and I will also use this term EQ, EH, emotional quotient and emotional health, in my points today. Highlight of this podcast first, let me start with, they explain very nicely that how any truth become truth. So they tell in just one simple line, anyone who has really experienced something, it's not about experience, is not in the terms of age or something like 40, 50, 60 that we are experienced, or like I am 10 year experienced in this field, not like that, but they're talking about how a truth becomes truth, how a truth becomes so strong and visible for someone because they experienced it by doing it, they gain something out of it by applying it. So yes, so experiencing something is very strong truth, and then like internally you don't deny those experiences, even if like whole world is telling something, but you don't you don't agree to, you can't deny all those truths which you have experienced inside. Okay, like internally, like if you have applied something, for example, and I'm not talking in the terms of bigger things like how these knowledgeable people are talking about in terms of NLP or spirituality or mindset, but I will talk about point of view from language and language and how we say, like public speaking or something. So at very early age, I would say like 16 or 17 something, I started reading Dale Carnegie, who is famous author and who is famous public speaking expert, and I started studying his content from a very young age, and I started applying little by little every year. So that is why over a period of time, when I applied and I experienced something out of it, that how a simple public speaking expert can teach you about life, that is an ultimate experience. And now these people are talking about something NLP, spirituality. Obviously these are great concepts and great fields to know about and to experience. So that is why I'm just sharing this podcast highlights now. And my highlights are that first was, experience is truth. That is how experience established the truth. Experience applying something and then see the results establish the truth. That was the one highlight. The next highlight is Garbh Sanskar. We have heard a lot of about this topic, Garbh Sanskar, but in addition to Garbh Sanskar, now Sister B.K. Shivani mentions about 1,000 days of a child. 1,000 days of a child means 3+ years age, till 3+ years age of any child, toddler. Okay, that how much important it is for any nurturing, any growth process. Now I will apply my not apply, but I will give extension to this point of view. 1,000 days, I think like self improvement, is also something like this only, that if this couldn't happen in past for you, like through Garbh Sanskar or through your parenting, but you can still develop it applying the same kind of principle on your current life now, that you put some 1,000 days of your self improvement or of your whatever, very 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 personal goal, very very heart related goals what you put for yourself. And I will not say in the terms of only materialistic, positions or money thing, but like as in all of your mindset, emotional health, which couldn't happen in the Garbh Sanskar. So you can still take those 1,000 days for you, work on you, and work towards your self improvement. So I am taking this point as a motivation here, and not only for just for motivation, but I am giving you an idea of how you can apply these 1,000 days on you to make you a better person in terms of all angles and aspects. That is how B.K. Shivani mentioned for Sister B.K. Shivani mentioned for a child, those 3+ years, age important days. And the other highlight was, of course, constantly mentioned by Ms. Tanaz and other two speakers about EQ and EH, emotional quotient and emotional health. So as you know, right, that in routine, in daily life, we all get our struggles, we all get our responsibilities, we all get our priorities, and sometimes those priorities are so mingling, juggling, and sometimes we tend to lose balance. So that EQ, EH related pointers and affirmations from this podcast can help us for some time, at least for the beginning. We can start with that. If we are in the dark, if we do not know what to do, we can start with this one. Of course, we can surely start. Okay, now the other highlight is the third speaker, like how well he is putting up things, how well he is speaking. You can note down those points, and you can really know that when a person works on the language, when the person works on this style of speaking and choosing the right words, how much great it looks. So that is how you can note down all these things in this particular podcast. And this is of 58 minutes, and I am now winding up in few minutes, so that you enjoy this podcast for sure, you listen to it for sure, and at least 1-2 pointers you can take to apply in your own life. I am also going to take something out of it now. I have done I think small parts of it in past years, but I'm going to do it more now. And in the last, if some parents say that please don't expect anything from us or something like that, like our life is like that problematic, or our life is that tough, that don't expect now much more from us, then I cannot say much on this point, because this podcast also told that children actually expressed their expectation that they want EQ from parents. Children, maybe earlier, many years back, children used to tell that we want this, we want toy, we want material possessions, we want this, that. But now children are raising this concern that we want EQ from our parents. So now parents, I understand completely, and this podcast also tells that yes, it is overwhelming anytime for any parent, but beginning is the step, not perfection is the step, but first step is the beginning. So you can start with, and don't feel overwhelmed, and you can do it, and I can do it. So let's start it, and please watch this podcast for sure.